Okay, we're live.
Okay, thanks, Tiffany. Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Brownlee, the Principal Assessor of Northborough. This is a meeting of the Board of Assessors, and I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:11 p.m. on Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. We'll do a roll call vote. Please respond when I say your name. With me today are Assessors Bruce Morgan.
Aye.
And Christopher Reedy.
Aye.
Also in attendance is Tiffany Peters, Assessor Assistant, who's hosting the meeting. This open meeting of Northborough Board of Assessors is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the town of Northborough has been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. All members of the Northborough Board of Assessors are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows Northborough Board of Assessors to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. Okay. So have you guys had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting, May 20th?
Yes.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, Bruce?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Julie, aye. All right, and then, I'm sorry, Tiffany, I don't have the motor vehicle commands. Or the warrants.
Sorry about my cat. I swear he waits until I am distracted. I was writing something, and that's when he decides to jump up in front of me.
Of course.
Otherwise, I hold him off. Yeah, you. Mhm.
I think that's good, and I'll let you know. Thanks so much, Tiffany. Okay, sorry guys, we don't usually have too much stuff at this time of the meeting, but we do. We did. Tiffany did motor vehicle abatements, about 2.5 inches worth on May 18th. So we have to entertain a motion to accept these abatements.
Do we have a document to look at, or?
Well,
do.
okay, this is kind of, okay, yes, it's pretty much always been pro forma at our meetings. I am happy to though. So she did them in two segments. And so the first one, we abated $4,393.72. And the second one, we abated $3,942.59. Is there anything else you wanted to know? It's
No, just again, different boards do this very, very differently from each other. I just don't know how it's done here. Sometimes there's a document that needs to be signed with each one listed out, right? It's like a spreadsheet with every single abatement that's been granted, and then a total at the bottom of how many abatements and how many dollars are being abated. And
right. So I read you the dollars, and
yep.
We have always printed out a journal page and stamped that with the Board of Assessors, and then two of them can initial it, two of the three. That's been standard pre-COVID.
Right.
So the first packet there were 24 abatements. And again, I'll say for $4,393.72. And then we give a copy of the journal and the posting, or the certificate, the commitment not the commitment, the abatement to the collector and to the treasurer. And the collector also gets copies of all the individual certificates. And the second one, Tiffany did 21 abatements. So the document, if you were here to look at it and sign it, you could see each of them listed individually and the amount they were listed individually. So again, this one was 21 abatements for a total of $3,942.59.
Great.
Okay.
How many commitments have there been so far this year?
How many commitments? I haven't added it up. We just did the second one, May 26th.
So, okay,
As you know, normally they come every 2 months, but the RMB had problems with their website. And so they, instead of doing the second one in March, they just did it in May. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm happy to get that to you. There were,
that's okay. I'm just curious. Like, I know they had all that trouble with the malware
right.
and all. I didn't know how much it impacted beyond the inspection process.
Yeah, so, right, so they, no, they weren't prepared to send out the bills, to send out the new registration at all. And we just, you know, occasionally we have to, a fellow came in today with a valuation that was clearly wrong for his vehicle, and the car owner has to reach out to the RMV themselves, and then we get a letter back saying, here's what the corrected valuation is.
Right.
And in the past, that takes like 3 or 4 days. All they have to do is call and we get an email. But I've heard from other assessors that it's not fast at all right now. And fortunately, he came in, the bill was just issued May 26th. He came in today. So hopefully we have 3 weeks before it's due, because his bill was like for $3,500 and they had his RAM valued at $171,000. So
Probably not.
he was very gracious about it.
All right, that's all I need. I just want to make sure
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I know what I'm approving, and you know.
Mhm.
And what
Yeah,
you-
it's harder when, I think that in the past with the past board, when I would sit in and take the minutes, in the early days, they may have looked at them, but then they didn't even look at them anymore and just
Right.
signed off. But we can do whatever you want to do. Okay, so
I'm good on minimizing that process. Yeah.
Bruce, when I came on the board, I think we even had a vote to, you know, authorize the stamping, and the same thing with exemptions. I don't know if you're doing that or not.
we are, yes,
Okay.
I actually just filed it in my drawer today. We
Okay.
did have a letter several months ago where we listed out different things, different forms that we use commonly that the assessors have to sign off on, vote on, and approve. And you guys gave me the authority to do that on your behalf. But and so Tiffany ordered a stamp for us. It's got our 3 names. But what we've been doing in practice is I initial it, and because Chris is here, he's been initialing it too.
Mhm.
And if we were
Right.
all together, we just all 3 initial it.
Yeah.
The stamp keeps the minimum time down, because as you know, certain times of the year, we have a million things to sign.
Yeah.
So we did do that. And as a reminder, we did do it for Gateway also.
Right.
We did that authorization.
Yeah.
So we have.
It's good to do those once a year for whatever authorizations we're giving you to stamp things or sign on behalf of the board. It's good to do that once a year.
We can put that on the calendar and do it once a year.
Yeah.
Yes, in the past, we didn't even do that, and we had a stamp and the previous assessor just signed it.
Yeah.
But that's, yes, that's a great idea. And of course, the for the DOR, we do have to do it every year.
Right. It's just a good idea for everything, for the motor vehicle abatements, for the exemptions and such. I wouldn't want there to be a situation where somebody wants to see a document or see a vote from minutes, and it occurred a couple of years ago and neither Chris nor I were on the board, and here we are merrily signing along. Of course, you weren't either, right? So even a year ago, none of the three of us were on the board. So
That's
if we have a
right.
1-year-old authorization, it's like none of those three people are
Right,
here. So
right.
that's
Right.
why it's good to just put it in the calendar somewhere, so that once
I
a
will.
year, they each get, each of the different categories, they each get voted. It takes a minute at a meeting, and then off you go for another year with all this stamping and
Right.
other
Bruce,
signing.
excuse me, I'm sorry.
No,
Bruce, since you weren't party to that, would we want to just put it up for a vote?
oh, no, he was.
Oh, you were? Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
He
we
did
just
sign
did
it.
one a couple of weeks ago.
fine.
We did it before that, but we had it in the office for a while until we
Okay.
saw you to sign it. We did it
Oh,
a couple
that's
months
right.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right, we can just do that every year when we do the DOR one. We'll just do the
Yeah.
other one. And it's
Whatever's easier. It's again, it's a simple
right.
procedural thing that just covers all of it. It's just better. And it covers us
And
all, and it
it's- and
takes a
it's a-
minute.
It's a good reminder of what you all are like giving away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would like to entertain a motion to accept the two abatement stacks as submitted.
She's so technical. Abatement stacks. Great.
Yep, that's the librarian of me right there.
That's okay.
So
I don't think you heard me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I so moved.
let's put it, can we just slide a date on to that?
Sure. Okay,
motion
yes, perfect.
Sure.
that-
So I'd like to entertain a motion that the abatements, 55 abatements done on
Motor vehicle excise abatements.
motor vehicle excise abatements on May 18th, 2021
Great, perfect.
will be approved as submitted.
So moved.
Second,
Thank you. All in favor, Bruce,
yes.
Chris,
Aye.
Julie, aye. Thank you. Okay. All right, now we have, I don't remember if this is included in our letter, so I'll look at it and we'll, in our letter authorizing me to sign things like abatements and betterment payoffs, et cetera. If it's not, then I'll double check. If we can do it with a stamp and the initial, we'll do it. And if we can't,
Mhm.
then we'll sign it. But I want to tell you that, with our vendor, Randy Mercier, we created the personal property and the real estate tax bills, preliminary bills for fiscal '22. So I'll give you the information I have. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know, but the personal property preliminary tax bill totals to $880,221.39. And that would be Q1 and Q2. And the real estate preliminary tax bill totals $26,619,057.38. So those bills have not gone out yet, but they are in the system, and probably a few people have paid on them already. So before we vote, is there any other information that you would like?
So the actual documents, you've got warrants and you've got a commitment, right? And how are, there's the two of you are going to sign those tonight?
Well, that I don't remember in our letter. I can grab the letter on what you've authorized us to sign.
But you guys are a quorum. I mean, you're a quorum
Right.
of the board. So, you can sign, I can miss out. That's okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
But but you've got those documents ready to roll.
Yes,
Um,
right, and to hand off to the treasurer.
Yeah, because they're not supposed to be sending any bills out without you handing her signed official copies, right?
Right, they're not sent out. They're not
Um,
mailed yet.
So, yeah, good.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the fiscal 22 preliminary tax commitment for real estate for the amount of $26,619,057.38.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor, Bruce,
aye,
Chris,
Aye.
Julie, I. And I'd like to entertain a motion for the fiscal 22 preliminary personal property tax bill totaling $880,221.39.
So moved.
second,
All in favor, Bruce,
aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Julie, I. Thank you. Okay. All right, then we have one sewer betterment to review, a payoff. And for Northborough, you can tell me if you did it differently, if you've done it differently or would like it differently. But when we get a, when someone wants to know what the payoff would be and they're seriously talking about paying it off, if they only need a ballpark, we only give a ballpark. But if they're really going to pay it off, we do the math. It's checked by the collector. Because as you know, it's complicated because the betterment year starts October 1st of each year and not on the fiscal or calendar years. So this is for 14 Leland Avenue, and we had a lien recorded. Well, I don't, actually I do have it on here. Back in the first year that we taxed them was 2012 for the betterment. So we calculated it, we've received the check has been given to the collector, and essentially we just need to approve that everything that's already been done is okay with you guys.
So moved.
Second,
Okay. All in favor, Bruce,
aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Julie, I. Thank you. Okay, now I'd like to entertain a motion to move into executive session pertinent to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Purpose 7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special law or federal grant and aid requirements in accordance with MGL Chapter 59, Section 60, requiring confidentiality. At the conclusion of executive session, the board will adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor, Bruce,
aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Julie, I.